Bonsoir ou bonjour. So today we're looking at pros and cons of the internet, hence the title of this sentence builder, Internet pour ou contre. So this could answer the question, qu'est-ce que tu penses d'Internet? Or even, qu'est-ce que tu penses des réseaux sociaux? Sorry, I'll try again. Qu'est-ce que tu penses des réseaux sociaux? So in French we don't call them media, we call them networks. Since you use them for networking originally. So at the start, I've put a little subjunctive phrase because it's cool and it gives you a bit of an edge if you use that in the GCSE exam. So we have bien que ce soit une question difficile. So you're buying time as well. Bien que ce soit une question difficile. Then you've got your usual je pense que, je trouve que, je suis d'avis que. Or if you want to go negative, je ne pense pas que, or je ne trouve pas que. Now, if you use the positive phrasing, so je pense que, je trouve que, je suis d'avis que, you follow with c'est, simple indicative present tense. But if you want to use a negative, then you again will use the subjunctive present tense of the verb to be. So, je ne pense pas que ce soit, or je ne trouve pas que ce soit. And after that, you can use an intensifier, trop, or vraiment, or très. Remember not to pronounce your last consonants. Assez, plutôt, un peu. I'm going to switch to the other mouse because this one is tired again. It seemed fine for a while and then it just decided nope. Parfois. And then potentiellement. I'm slipping because the cat has just decided to come and bump into my arm. Home studio, eh? So normally you should know the meaning of all of these. If not, you can use the word reference online to check. Favorite dictionary. And once you've got your intensifier, you add an adjective. So for example, essentiel, indispensable, pratique, utile. Very useful word, utile. Hey, see what I've done? Dangereux, or dangereux, and risqué. Okay, so if I made one sentence, for example, and try to speak it more naturally, so let's say I'm picking this one. Je ne pense pas que ce soit trop risqué. And then I would probably look up how to add some nuance to that. So as long as you take precautions or if you are careful, etc. So then that would end up sounding like, bien que ce soit une question difficile, je ne pense pas que ce soit trop risqué. That's one way to say it. So then let's go back to pink for our grid under. So now we're going to go into more detail. So this was a sort of introduction. Here you introduce your answer and now we go into more detail. So we can have en effet, grâce à Internet, or grâce aux réseaux sociaux. Oops, I skipped again. This time it wasn't a cat, it's just me. Or you could also go negative. So if you've had a positive statement in your introduction, then you would go grâce à, thanks to. But if you had a negative statement, if you said, for example, je pense que c'est vraiment dangereux, I think it's really dangerous. If you've got a negative statement in that intro, you would then use the bottom part. À cause d'Internet, because of the Internet. À cause des réseaux sociaux, because of social media. And then we could say il est, which is just a little bit more posh than c'est. So they both mean the same thing, c'est and il est. In this context, same meaning, but il est comes across as a bit smarter, I would say, a bit more literary. So il est facile, or il est possible, or il est fréquent, or il est important, or even il est important with a liaison if you want to have it, it's not compulsory. De, if your next word starts with a consonant, or d, if the next word starts with a vowel. I have accidentally zoomed in and I cannot remember how to unzoom. I said it last time. Is it O for out? Yes, hey, I am learning slowly but surely. So D apostrophe or D if you start with a vowel afterwards. In this particular grid, that would only be with utiliser. So, for exemple, il est facile d'utiliser un dictionnaire en ligne. Il est facile d'utiliser un dictionnaire en ligne. So it's easy to use an online dictionary. And I don't mean Google Translate, which is not a dictionary. So il est fréquent de rester en contact, and then stay in touch, rester en contact avec ses amis ou avec sa famille. So avec is the common denominator here, and then you would switch from ami to famille depending on who you want to talk about. So de rester en contact avec ses amis, de rester en contact avec sa famille, de faire des recherches, and then you could say what for, so des recherches pour ses devoirs, pour le collège, pour l'école. You could say faire des recherches sur, and then a topic, so faire des recherches sur la science, sur le surf, sur, I don't know, les équipes de rugby, like rugby teams. Il est possible de partager des photos ou de partager des vidéos. So here the common denominator is des photos, des vidéos, des créations artistiques. That's one that I added just for the artists among you. I'm sure lots of you are very, very talented artists. So maybe you share your stuff online. Or de partager ses infos personnelles. Info is a shortcut for information. So if you've gone for a more formal tone throughout, you probably want to use information in full. Otherwise, info works. Passer trop de temps sur Internet. Passer trop de temps sur Internet. That would obviously imply a negative idea. I've lost the mouse there for a second. Chatter avec des inconnus. Chatter avec des inconnus. That one could be positive or negative. I've made great friends online, but equally, if you're not careful and you're not lucky, could be more dangerous. Also, when I made great friends online, it was a good 18 years ago. So the world has changed a lot since. Looking back to the French, you might see chatter written without a T nowadays as we get closer to the English spelling, but I think for the exam they would want you to write it with a T. So chatter. We also have il est important, for example, il est important de faire du sport. So it's important to do sport. Il est important de sortir, prendre l'air. You could just use sortir on its own, or you could use prendre l'air on its own. Oh, my food is almost ready. I'd better finish quick. Little extra sentence. Il est important, not sentence, phrase, my bad. Il est important de passer du temps avec sa famille en chair et en os. The interesting thing here was the idiom en chair et en os. En chair et en os. Okay. Et il est important de retrouver ses amis en vrai, which basically means the same as en chair et en os, but a bit less pictorial. I don't know. The word I'm looking for is escaping my mind right now. I will probably think about it tomorrow morning. You could use also the connective d'un autre côté. So you could start by having a positive introduction here, and then say en effet, and develop something positive with grâce. And then you could say d'un autre côté, maybe even skip this, skip à cause de and grâce à, and go d'un autre côté, il est important de blah blah blah. So recognizing that the internet has positive signs, but you also need to make sure that you do sport, and get some fresh air, and meet up with people in real life, in the flesh. So I hope this was useful. It's getting a bit longer now, but I feel like this was a longer grid. And I think in the next few weeks we're going to have longer grids as well. But hopefully we can always fall under 10 minutes, which I'm going to try to aim at. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any feedback, and enjoy your French. Ciao!